Dear learners, today we are going to talk about a very important form of poetry, that is sonnet. Sonnet, the word sonnet is taken from Italian word sonetto, which means a little sound or song. This form was invented by Italian poet Giacomo da Lentini, and it was perfected by another great Italian poet, Petrarch. This form was brought into England by Sir Thomas Wyatt and the Earl of Surrey. So far as kinds of sonnet are concerned, there are three main kinds: Petrarchan, Spenserian, and Shakespearean. There are other poets who made some variations in sonnet, and they are known by their names. Like we have Shelleyan sonnet, which have same 14 lines, but the form is a bit different. He introduced tercet, stanza of 3 lines, and there are 4 tercets and a couplet. And there is modern sonnet. There is further variation. We have 2 octaves. It's a poem of 16 lines. But we are going to touch only the most important and the most famous forms, that is Petrarchan, Spenserian, and Shakespearean. Petrarchan sonnet is also called as classical or traditional sonnet. It has first 8 lines, which are called as octave, and the last 6 lines are called as sestet. The rhyme scheme of the first 8 lines is ABBA, ABBA, and the rhyme scheme of the last 6 lines, it has variations. It can be CD, 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 or CDE, CDE. Coming to rhythm, rhythm in the sonnet is iambic pentameter. The first 8 lines or octave develops the idea or thought, and the thought is completed in the last 6 lines, which are sestet. There is another important thing that is called as volta. Volta is the transformation of idea between octave and sestet. And the best example is John Milton's On His Blindness. Coming to Spenserian sonnet, it has 3 quatrains and a couplet, and the rhythm is iambic pentameter. A rhyme scheme of Spenser sonnets is interlocking rhyme, because the last rhyme of the first stanza is repeated as the first rhyme of the second stanza, and it happens also from second to third stanza. So the first quatrain has rhyme scheme ABAB, second one BCBC, and third one CDCD, and in the end we have a couplet EE. Shakespeare also followed the same pattern, except for the case that he did not repeat the rhyme scheme. There is no interlocking rhyme scheme. We have 3 quatrains in Shakespeare. First one has rhyme scheme ABAB, second one CDCD, third one EFEF, and in the end we have a couplet GT. In Shakespearean sonnet or Spenserian sonnet, idea is developed from one stanza. It moves on gradually from first to second to third, and the crux of the idea lies in the last couplet, last 2 lines. Coming to rhythm, rhythm in sonnet is mostly iambic pentameter, and one of the best examples is from Shakespeare, sonnet number 18, that is there before you. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So when we say I am is an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one. So in sonnet, we have 5 unstressed followed by 5 stressed syllables. So, and this is, you can see in the slide, all 4 lines have the same pattern. So this is what we call as iambic pentameter. This rhythm is followed in the sonnet. Another example, which we already talked about, it is by John Milton, which is the example of classical or traditional sonnet. And you can see the rhyme scheme displayed on the slide. We have ABBA, A, B, B, A, C, D, C, D, C, D, E, C, D, E. So this is the rhyme scheme which Milton follows in his very famous sonnet, that is on his blindness. And then coming to Volta, as we talked about, Volta is, you see that where he says, I fondly ask, in the first 8 lines, the note of pessimism dominates, and then there is a change, but patience to prevent that murmur soul replies. So here there is a shift from optimism to pessimism to optimism, and there is a change, and that change is called as Volta. The whole idea gets transformed and goes under transformation, and we have altogether different thought or idea that is leading from pessimism to optimism. So this is how Volta plays an important part in classical or traditional sonnet. This is an example of Spenser's sonnet that is having 3 quatrains and a couplet. And this is what we call as interlocking rhyme scheme displayed before you, A, B, A, B. Then B is repeated, B, C, B, C, C is repeated, C, D, C, D, and then we have a couplet, E, E. And then we have an example from Shakespearean sonnet, where there is no interlocking rhyme scheme, A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, and G, G. This is all from my side. Hope you have got the idea. If there is any query, anything not clear, you can ask in comments. And if you like the video, please do subscribe and share. Thank you very much.